any power of eminent domain that a city, municipality, or other government in the state of New York has, it comes from the state. So the state is the ultimate authority on the power of domain and has the absolute right to use it in its discretion for legitimate purposes and decide the parameters, so long as there is a public hearing like we're having now, and there will also be a public hearing in the City Council in this bill that will follow the dictates of the law as the state has laid it down for the power of eminent domain to be used by other levels of government. Now, having said that, the most important thing about this bill, I have to tell you, requires an understanding of the background, if you will permit me, sir. And in 1973, the City of New York saw fit to build a senior citizen and a daycare center in my district in Brooklyn with their funds, with city funds, because of the necessity for such a center. And having built the center, built a building, a brand new building for the location of the seniors and the daycare, they then asked a private person or put it out for people to purchase it so that the owner would then lease it back to the city for permanent use as a senior and a daycare center. And they engaged in a long lease for the owner with the City of New York, with a clause in that lease that if the owner ever wanted to sell the property, he or she would be required to give the city the right of first refusal. In other words, the right to purchase the property so that it would continue to be used as a senior or a daycare center. So, and it had done so for over 40 years. And this was going on, and the seniors had enjoyed the center, and the children had grown up in daycare for better than 40 years. And then all of a sudden, there was a purchase that was authorized by the lease, and what is in question is whether or not the city ever got a notice or a right of first refusal. We're not certain of that. The city's not telling us whether they did. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. But nevertheless, the seniors and the daycare folks never got any notice. So they did what I would do under the same circumstances, try to come up with an offer to buy it themselves, because they didn't know that the land was being sold out from under them. And the seniors were very upset because they would have no place to go, and they entered into a possible deal with the original owner where they would pay more money for the property than the person who bought it. But they were refused. The matter is now maybe in litigation. I'm not sure exactly what the state of that litigation is, but suffice it to say that this is the kind of purpose that eminent domain was intended for. When I first was elected to office, one of the first things that I did was fight the City of New York because they wanted to take property by eminent domain to make a box company expand its territory and put people out of their houses. We fought them tooth and nail, but the city prevailed anyway because eminent domain is such a powerful tool. That was a wrong use of eminent domain. This is the right use. What eminent domain was intended by whoever framed the statute in the first place wanted it to be used for. And that's what this bill does.